this can be used for unbelievably nefarious reasons. Bioweapon, especially a bioweapon where, they only have the synthetic resolution to that bioweapon. Just think, rampant synthetic bacteria, and all of a sudden, they have the only means of treatment. This is terrifying.
America's dead.
I don't like to break stuff like this because it's so disgusting, dystopian, and moribund terrifying that I don't even know what to think about it. But we have a story that dropped. Some people are reporting on it today. From Neoscope, they reported on it August 27th, which was last week. But I just want to go through it real quick because I want you guys to know how far down the pipeline we are with the technocratic transhumanist agenda that the ruling class has planned for all of us. And again, just for a disclaimer, I'll be the first one to say, okay, no, I'm sorry, I need to say this. I hope we do hear MP. It would be fucking glorious. I'll take the subscriber hit for him, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to make a disclaimer here, guys. Okay? Technological advancement itself isn't bad. Okay? A lot of technological advancement we have right now greatly improves everybody's lives. Improves our lifespans, treats diseases. Technology itself isn't the problem. The problem is we live under a dictatorship of capital that exploits all of us, which needs to exert constant control, disincentivize any sort of dissent against their prime aims, their agendas, and highly stifle any kind of direct action. So that is why all of this matters. You need to think of technological advancement, and this is kind of the hell we're just cursed with. You have to think of it on how it's going to be used against you, instead of how it's going to be used to all of our benefit. So, without further ado, just the headline alone is just, I don't have any words for this. Scientist warns that new synthetic life form could spell doom for humankind. If this is achieved and Pandora's box opens, it could pose extraordinary risks.
That's good.
It's a technology that doesn't even exist yet, but its effects could be so drastically destructive that scientists in the field are calling for it to be banned now before it's too late. We're talking, of course, about mirror life, synthetic organisms that quite literally turn natural biology on its head. We should choose not to build mirror life and pass laws to ensure nobody can. John Glass, a synthetic biologist who helped create the first living cell with a synthetic genome, wrote in a speculative yet terrifying piece for the Financial Times. The question is not whether we are able to prevent this threat. It is whether we will act while we still can. Mirror life forms contain DNA structures that are the mirror image to all known organisms. In all life on Earth, the DNA double helix is right-handed, meaning it strands a sugar phosphate backbone twist to the right. If you make a thumbs up with your right hand, the vertical axis would be aligned with your thumb, while your fingers represent the curl of the spiral. The opposite is the case for proteins, the building blocks of cells, which are left-handed. This so-called
in theory, in theory, isn't this already possible? So, can't you technically just get a micro nuclear reactor and just build any sort of life that you want? Explain to me what this is briefly. I guess go for it. Just keep going, I guess.
I was going to say that's the point of the article.
Okay, go.
This so-called
the one thing that's stopping us from literally building life from the ground up is that we cannot build a small enough nuclear reactor. If you know anything about nuclear physics, if if you can get a nuclear reactor that's small enough in order to build atoms one by one, then you would be able to. You could technically build you could rebuild Earth if you really wanted to, and that's a microscopic nuclear reactor is what it would take. And I'm not surprised that we're at the level of technology that we're able to do that.
Yeah. So the so-called homochirality is true for all known life forms. So what happens when humans engineer a synthetic organism where its DNA twists to the left while its proteins twist to the right? The scary thing is we can't say for sure, but many biologists fear the worst. In December, a group of leading figures in the field, including 2 Nobel laureates, published a massive technical report warning that the consequences of mere life could be globally disastrous, possibly even wiping out all life if the new organisms proved pathogenic to existing life, like as humans. In June of this year, more than 150 scientists and ethicists echoed these concerns in a conference at the Institut Pasteur in Paris to weigh the risks of developing the tech. It was something I never expected to see in my scientific career, Glass wrote. He noted that the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, an influential nonprofit organization that funds scientific research, has been unequivocal that it will not support efforts to create mirror organisms. Many scientists agree that the technology is at least a decade away, perhaps 3. That's not very far away. Like, is it 10 years? But their sense of urgency in preventing it is palpable. Once it is possible to build a mirror cell, it would be comparatively easy to engineer many more kinds of mirror bacteria, the simplest form of mirror life, Glass wrote. If this is achieved and Pandora's box opens, it could pose extraordinary risks. To the best of our knowledge, our immune systems produce very weak antibody responses against mirror molecules, if any, he explained. Having even one immune deficiency can cause a patient to die of overwhelming bacterial infections. A mirror bacterial infection might be like having many immune deficiencies at once. Moreover, mirror bacteria could reduce predation by organisms that normally keep their population, allowing them to run rampant across ecosystems. Contaminated areas could become irreversibly uninhabitable, compromising our agriculture and natural world, Glass said. Huge numbers of people, animals, and plants could be wiped out, with some driven to extinction. If it's so dangerous, then why pursue it at all? They're going to give this explanation. The actual explanation, obviously, is profit and control. That's always the explanation under capitalism. For one thing, the tech's promise in medicine almost matches its potential for destruction. Already emerging forms of mirror proteins could be used to create more effective drugs that survive in the body longer. And so any potential laws governing the field, Glass says, will need to strike a balance between absolutely clamping down on developing mirror life while allowing synthetic biology to thrive. This will require precision on what research can continue and what should cease, Glass wrote. Fortunately, he observes, we have realized these dangers well before the point of no return. We will see about that. Just saying. We'll see about that. Because I can think of endless situations. This can be used for unbelievably nefarious reasons. Bioweapon, especially a bioweapon where they only have the synthetic resolution to that bioweapon. Just think, rampant synthetic bacteria, and all of a sudden, they have the only means of treatment. This is terrifying. So, just wanted to give a heads up. That's on the.
You could literally build life from the ground up. But you're talking about mirror cells. So at this point, cells are relatively bigger than atoms. And what I was talking about earlier was atoms. So if we were to get to the point where we were capable of rebuilding atoms, we would literally be able to build probably an entire Earth within a couple of weeks.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different things happening, where science is predictably rapidly progressing, and it's not fun. It's not great. You could literally build, like, if we were to able to build atoms by scratch, in theory, we would be able to build entire planets, entire ecosystems. If you can build an atom like a puzzle piece one by one, given that we know everything about human anatomy and just life in general, that science that we've progressed so far, you could literally build a mirror Earth, not just bacteria, like a mirror Earth of every human being and every single planet in the universe.